Your life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. Jim Rohn. Today's episode is a little different. Throughout the three episodes we have had on this podcast, we have always had stories of victory or success. Whether it was Soumya's victory over his weight, Malvika's over Gen Z misinformation, or Tamim's over influenza. We always rely on such stories for motivation and inspiration. But today's episode is going to be slightly different. Without further ado, let me introduce our guest on today's podcast. Our guest today is an aspiring computer scientist, a 4x4 national champion, a national level football athlete, a confidence machine, an overthinker just like me, and an incoming freshman at University of Alberta. Please welcome my dear friend, Faiz Malik. First of all, welcome to the Chain Series podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How about you, Adnan?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. So let's get down to the question, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, great. Okay, so Faiz and I have been really good friends for the past 2 or 3 years, and you always tell me this thing about shedding your outer skin, how you want to shed your outer skin, and how you still feel unaccomplished after being a 4x4 national champion, which, for those of you who do not know, is actually a world renowned robotics competition. So, this guy was the national champion. So, yeah, can you tell us something about that, like that whole part?
Yeah. I mean, it's not about feeling unaccomplished. Okay, let's get that out of the way. It's more into not doing not doing enough, like not having an adequate part to play as a team member. In fact, as a team leader rather, because I was a team leader then, right? So particular to that event, it was more into not being able to do enough rather than feeling unaccomplished.
Yeah, yeah. But then, what's that thing about shedding your outer skin? Like, what is that? Like, you want to shed your outer skin and like show your true self to everyone.
I don't know if I want to show it or not, but it's more it's because people right now they think that I'm a very bold personality and I'm outgoing, I'm confident, the past house captain, la la la, but it's more that the analogy, the coconut's skin or the coconut's skin, yeah, it's skin, right? What do you call it?
Yeah.
Coconut's husk?
A
What is it
shell,
called?
dude.
The
It's a
outer
shell.
layer, shell.
It's a shell.
I'm sorry.
This man just graduated
Um,
high school, by the way.
yeah, the shell. Okay, the shell. So you know how they say the coconut shell is like tough from the coconut has a tough shell. It has very strong outer layering, but from the inside it's soft. So that's what I am. I seem to be a very bold, confident personality, but from the inside, that's not the true. That's not truly Faiz. So I'm more of a calm, like a soft person. I am outgoing, yeah, but wouldn't be that confident. However, it's good to have confidence in this world because confidence is key, and it plays a major role anywhere you go, whether it be corporate work, your school, and just any part of life. So yeah.
So, would you say confidence is really important as a high school student and as a slash college student? Since
Oh yes, definitely, 100%. Yeah, I mean, moving to my college life, definitely, my confidence is key because that's how you, at this time, that's how I would win a few research assistant roles if I am confident with my professors. So yeah, it is very important, and same goes for the high school as well. The high school students' confidence is very important, definitely.
Hmm. So, let's talk about like your problem with like procrastination, and how it affected you in like the last 2 years, where you were on the top of your life at a high in 10th grade. Being one of the top scoring students, and then becoming average like everyone else in 11th and 12th. So like what how was that like phase of your life, and what part do you think procrastination played in that part?
I think you used the wrong tense there. Not how it
Did I?
affected me. Rather, it's still
How it affects
affecting me.
you?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
still affecting me. So I mean, it was yeah, it was a very weird. It was a very weird situation because going from the 90s above and like being a top 5 in class and all of that and to like just being part of the average. It was a weird transition. I wouldn't exactly blame COVID for it, but it has its part for it. But it's not right for me to blame COVID. It's on me. Whatever's happened is on me. So
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think everyone kind of had a downfall in COVID. Whether to blame it or not, that's the question. But yeah, everyone fell short of their potential and their capabilities. I feel so. What advice would you give to other people, who were on the top and then fall to the bottom, like which happens with like every high school student, whether it be me, whether it be Tamim who was on the podcast, whether it be anyone, like how would you tell people to deal with that? The main thing for this podcast is that we don't want to learn from success stories anymore. We want to learn from stories that were not so successful as well, because failure is the biggest teacher, and there's no one better to teach us this than Faiz. And no, I'm just
fair
joking.
enough, Ali, fair enough.
I'm just joking.
Deservedly so.
No, this man is really accomplished. Okay, I'm just joking. But then, like, yeah, could you like give us some advice for that? Like, being on top and falling to the bottom, and like you still finding your way up the ladder, back to the top. Could you tell us some advice about that?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's all about not taking everything too seriously. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong with that. But it's more like it's your life at the end of the day, and you've only been given one life, and so you take it easy. It's more into you should be analyzing what you're doing wrong, and at the end of the day, to be honest, whatever it is like in the majority of the cases it is our fault for what's gone wrong. So as a student, it's a student's responsibility to figure that out, you know reach out for help, because I used to reach out. If you see, I used to call you when I was struggling with some question, or would it be Adib or anyone. So reaching out is it's important, and it doesn't show that you are you're dumb or you're weak or whatever. Like everyone needs a bit of help anywhere. So that's one important thing. And I think the greatest driver for me was like, you got to maintain discipline. Like, discipline is everything. As I said, confidence is everything, but confidence with no discipline gives you nothing. So discipline is very important, because if you are on that track and you're dedicated on that, and you work on it and you don't leave it, you have that hunger for it, and you have that discipline, have that self-control to do it, that's going to get you, then the sky is just the limit. That's how it is.
This legit gives me like success motivation wise, like those videos that we watch online, like discipline is key, discipline is that.
I'm gonna start trying, a YouTube channel with that. Now that you say
You
it.
have to, and we'll promote it on the Chain Seas podcast, because this is the most original podcast on the entire World Wide Web, or as Faiz says, is the most original interview, which it isn't. It's a podcast.
Interview series, yeah.
No, it's podcast. Okay, so
We'll keep it to ourselves, don't worry.
so we have talked a bit about your journey. So what would you say would be the change you'd like to bring? Like, since you're still getting up, you're still getting back to the top, like what do you say are the changes you need to bring in your life, and how do you plan on bringing them about?
Okay, so first thing is, thank God, I'm very grateful that despite my fall, I have been admitted to a quite decent university that still keeps me in a good. To be honest, see, university doesn't really matter as much right? It's at the end of the day, it's upon you, right? It doesn't matter if you passed out from Stanford. If you have no discipline, then what's the point? So the thing is, I'm glad that I'm enrolled in a quite decent university, and so wow, it's climbing the ladder back up, bro. That's you got to do it. You know, you have to climb the ladder back up, and it's discipline, discipline, discipline for me. I am going to build that, that self control, self motivation, because you don't need motivation from others. You have to see your own story. I mean, who am I, right? I'm just some random Gujarati kid who's come to Dubai with his dad, and that's it. That's who I am. You know, like we're nobodies, and we gotta build and build and build and grind to become a somebody.
Future Adani and Mukesh, bhai. Gujarati kid, future.
So I think it's just building on your discipline, your confidence, and your self-control. Like what I used to do, right? I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this in the earlier part of the procrastination, but I'll just include this. So like for procrastination, right? What I used to do was the second I used to get procrastinated or feel like, nah, I don't want to do this, I get up, go on the floor, 10 push-ups right there, and go back to work. That's what I used to do. So just snap out of it, like it's all about your brain. So like second you feel procrastinated, give it some time, don't be too harsh on yourself, give it some time. But this is what I used to do. As soon as I just realized, okay, not procrastinating, I shouldn't be doing this, immediately get up, snap out of it, get down on the floor, 5 push-ups, 10 push-ups, whatever you can do, snap out of it, go back to work. That's what I used to do, and this is a slow practice. So that's one way that I would want to bring change through discipline.
I can't even want to.
No, stop lying. You can.
What am I supposed to do? Like, dude.
maybe you could just do work. Maybe you could just like do jumping jacks for like 5 seconds or whatever.
Okay, so yeah. So
it can be whenever, it's personal. This is personalized to me, so yeah. It's all about just snapping out of it, just snapping out of that zone. Mm-hmm. That's all.
So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, become fit as well as accomplish your task. So yeah, both
yeah, it's something that you have to do.
We're coming to the culmination of our episode today. So last segment, tips for change. So what would be your 1-2 tips that would help people change themselves or society, bring about small or big change?
This is going to be like such a dad advice, but just write down stuff, note down stuff, do your reminders. That really helps. Okay. I started doing this new practice that there's on iPhone there's a reminders app, right? Mm-hmm. You just put down I mean, there are many other scheduling or management apps or whatever, but mm-hmm. I'm too lazy to procrastination. So I just put that reminders app, type in whatever you want, try to aim to accomplish at least 1 goal a day, because it's summer break right now and still have let's say about 10-15 days, so you still can accomplish a lot in that much time, if you're struggling with a chapter. This is specifically if the viewers are
high school students.
So like so like if you all are struggling with some chapters, try to get some help. I'm not going to endorse any YouTube channels, but yeah. So reminders app is really good because you have it in front of you. So like I was watching. This might extend the duration, but it's good. So like I was watching this YouTube video today. I forgot who it was, but I read something that if you leave a task unattended, or like not unattended. I'm sorry. If you leave a task incomplete, it's still stuck in some part of your brain, and some part of your brain is still focusing onto that. So if you really want to accomplish something, just mention it. Let it be in front of you. And so every time you look up, you're gonna say, "Oh no, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, let's put my head down. Let's finish that up." Because that's something that can help.
So this episode on the podcast, we have had a really different approach to tips for change. Like first episode we had self-doubt, self-belief, prioritize your change. Somya, we had believe in yourself. Again, Tamim, believe in yourself. It was a recurring same pattern of it. But Faiz has told us something like really out of the blue, but then something like really, really important, which is prioritizing tasks and like scheduling them, right? in a way.
Not exactly
And-
like
and keeping them in
prioritizing,
front of yourself.
because yeah, it's more easy. I'll tell you. Let me just jot it all down. So first thing, procrastination, snapping out of it, whatever your way is. Second thing, discipline. You gotta know your whys. You gotta be hungry for
Mhm.
that why, because like why are you doing this? You don't need to, right? Like, but why am I doing this? I have my own reasons, right? So that's for discipline. And final thing is like to accomplish stuff and like not, like not forget it or like not procrastinate on it, is to keep it in front of you so that you, every time you see it, because you see my reminders app, I have a habit of opening my reminders app. So every time I see it, I say, okay, I still have to do this. Get down, finish that up, put the tick mark, go for the next one. So having it in front of you, scheduling really helps. So
Okay. So
at the end of the day, it's just discipline is gonna help you.
discipline. I hope to get some by the end of this episode. And like I always say, when you become really famous, billionaire, Gujju, billionaire, Adani, Mukesh Ambani, please
I
don't
think
forget
you're.
your
I think
old
you're.
friend.
I think Adnan is only a few millions off of being a billionaire. I think
Yeah,
it
a
should
few
be him.
millions off, meaning 1,000 million, which is $1 billion away from a billion.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
he's storing his cash on these offshore accounts.
Swiss accounts. Don't look at them, income tax department. Okay, thank you so much, Faiz, for being on the podcast. I will see you soon in the future to get an update of your change. Okay.
No problem. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm always happy if any juniors want to like come and talk with me. I'm always happy to help. Yeah.
All of his links will be in the description below, so shoot at him whenever you want. So I'll see you in the next episode, sir. Whenever. Bye.
Perfect. Season 2. Bye-bye.
Season 2. Bye bye.